Hello everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. Patch 6 from the Panel of Hell came out about 40 minutes after the Panel of Hell finished. It was all downloaded and ready to go. I have updated some of my drivers as requested by the game, and we're going to jump into a new game. We will probably see the introductory cinematics again. If you want to skip around those, I will put timestamps in the description. Who are we? Well, the first thing that we know is that we are going to be playing the wonderful Sorcerer. The Sorcerer is a full spellcaster using their Charisma as their spellcasting stat. We have two choices between Wild Magic and Draconic Bloodline. Draconic Bloodline, you get to pick who your bloodline is through an ancestor. You have increased armor class, 1 extra HP per level, and you get to learn 1 extra spell. So, Draconic Ancestry Red Fire. Fire is the damage type associated with your dragon ancestor at 6th level. Spells that deal fire damage are more powerful and you become resistant to fire damage. And there's that for all the different damage types and the like. We can pick scales on our face, and that color is going to change depending on our ancestry. And then you'll see here the spell that you get changes, so Burning Hands, Grease, Witch Bolt, Armor of Agathis, typically a warlock spell, Ray of Sickness, Disguise Self, Featherfall, Fog Cloud, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, or Sleep. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save Draconic Bloodline for when I do possibly a solo Sorcerer, or perhaps a duo with Sorcerer and Wizard or something like that, because they get the increased armor class, the higher amount of hit points. So for now, I'm going to opt into Wild Magic. And before we pick our spells and things, we're going to need a name and a race. Let's go over to our ability points. Still with point buy, it seems. Let's dump everything else for now. We obviously want Charisma as high as it will be. We're going to want decent dex and decent constitution, because that's going to be our HP and our armor class and our initiative, Intelligence and wisdom and strength then kind of come as an afterthought. So let's go back to our origin. We can choose male or female. Who did we play last time? We played a female called Grace. So let's go with a male. And as for race, obviously the min-maxing inside of me wants to take something with a charisma buff. Ah, Tiefling. I was thinking about Tiefling just because I've never played one in Baldur's Gate 3. Drow gets charisma and dexterity. Human get their +1 all round. Intelligence and strength. Constitution, wisdom, or constitution, strength. Half-elf, you get to pick, obviously. And halfling, dex and 1 charisma, or dex and 1 constitution. So let's go with a tiefling, because I've never played a tiefling before. We can pick between Asmodeus and Mephistopheles, or Zariel. Those are the three choices. We get Hellish Resistance, your blood protects you from flame, abyssal or otherwise, and Dark Vision for 40 feet. Base racial speed 30 feet, Charisma +1, Intelligence +1, sorry, Charisma +2, and Thaumaturgy. Then there's Hellish Resistance, Dark Vision, base speed, Intelligence 1, Charisma 2 is the same. This is Strength 1, Charisma 2. I think we'll take the point in strength. That way that's one stat we have to dump less. Unless I want the mage hand more than anything else. Let's do that. So, a male tiefling. What would we call a male tiefling dragonborn? I'm just going to name him after my first ever tabletop D&D character. Akiris. And if I remember, it's either the Afrikaans or the Swahili word for lizard, because I was playing a dragonborn at the time, but this will do. Our background, I'm probably going to want some charisma skill proficiencies. Persuasion and history, we could be a noble. Outlander, sage, soldier, urchin, acolyte. Now, let's go with noble then. Race we've chosen, appearance.
Where to next?
What was that?
Does look very mean, doesn't he? That looks a bit undead. Let's go with this guy. Oh, the choice of horns. Hornless, just with stubs. Horns 1. Horns 2. Horns 3. Oh, I'm digging that with the gold. Yes, please. You can get all skin colours and choose something really funky. What kind of sorcerer are we going to be? We're going to be wild magic. We can't... Imagine if you spawned every day with a new colour of skin. That would be fun. That's a bit druidic. Let's find something gold. There you go. We'll go with that. Eye colour can be as it is. Hairstyle, I think, is good. No beard. And we'll get some mascara lines, except it's a tattoo. Class we've chosen, but we'll not choose our specifics in a moment. Skills. We'll take Arcana. That's going to work well for a sorcerer, even though we're not really doing well in it for stats. And what's going to go along with it? We'll take Deception. We'll do some lying. Now we can assign the rest of our ability score points now that we know where our stats are going to lay. So 16 in Charisma, 14 Dex, 14 Con. If we bring everything up to zeros, just so we're not penalised on anything, we get to 1 point remaining. So I think we'd rather take the penalty somewhere. And gain enough points. Can we get 2 16s? I'm going to guess we can't then. I guess you can only get a 16 if you have a stat increase from somewhere else. So that's 14, that's 14. And we'll dump strength. Add on to intelligence 1 point. And I think that's all we need. Oh, the spells. The spells. We get 4 cantrips as a sorcerer, which is almost excessive. Right. Firebolt we obviously want. I don't think there's anything new here. So let's take something that causes a saving throw for damage. We'll try Friends, because we've got high charisma. We already have Mage Hand, thanks to our background. So we've got a ranged attack roll, a melee attack roll, something that forces a save, and Friends. Then for spells. So Chromatic Orb is new. Hurl a sphere of energy that deals 3d8 elemental damage of your choice. That's very strong for a first level spell. We only get to pick 2, that's the tough part. But I mean, you kind of have to, don't you, if you're given the choice. And then what else do we want? I don't know. We'll probably want mage armor, won't we? If we're not going to be proficient in any kind of armor. It's dull but necessary. Hit points 8, Constitution saving throw, Charisma saving throw, Dagger proficiency, Quarterstaff proficiency, Light crossbow proficiency. Tides of Chaos. Manipulate the forces of Chaos to gain advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. After Tides of Chaos triggers, the chances of triggering wild magic increase for the next spell of first level or higher. Wild magic. Wild magic stems from the forces of chaos. It churns within the sorcerers that wield it, waiting to burst free. So, let us join Akiris. I've decided I don't like this tattoo. Did they get new tattoos? Is there more of these? Let's go with the clean look. Right. We've got everything we need. We've got our stats. Let's venture forth.
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
Right. Now that I know that this actually plays some part in what happens later, we'll be really typical and pick the opposed gender, same race, and just take the default there. When I do the full final campaign, that'll be a much more interesting choice. And here's the cinematic. Right, and here we are, ready to wake up on the Nautiloid ship. Ready to go about things again, having to decide between our friends here who we want to have join in our party. I have not yet decided. So we're going to wake up in a haze. So we've got a few things that are different already. We've lost the topple and pin down options from the standard attacks here on the left. They have been moved into skills that can be added wherever they might be appropriate. So topple for us wielding a quarterstaff with which we are proficient. Then we have our cantrips and our first level spells. And here we have attack of opportunities for reactions turned on and off. We can toggle non-lethal attacks. And we have our Tides of Chaos. Activates to gain advantage on your next attack roll, ability check or saving throw. Increases the chance of a wild magic surge. So in this place, the first thing we want to do is make sure that we are pillaging everything that we can. So back here, there is a cartilaginous chest. We get a potion of fire resistance and a potion of healing that will be of good use to us. So, if you do not know already, I like to call these series Baldur's Gate 3 5th Edition, because where possible, I like to try and adhere to the 5th edition rule set as much as possible. And so, that's going to mean things like when we use a spell of first level or higher as our bonus action, we can only cast a cantrip as our main action rather than casting 2 full-leveled spells at once. That will become even more important when we get meta magic later.
On my way.
But also, let's just double check. In the options here, under gameplay, if you scroll down, you'll find here there are weighted dice. If you're finding that the dice aren't being as friendly to you as you like, you can turn that on and you can have a little bit more favor with the random number generator gods.
Moving ahead.
But I like to keep that off just for the most true dice rolling experience. Now, normally this nursery has dissolved by now, so let's see if something's different about it.
This is the pool that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
We can investigate. We have 1 to our investigation. And we can activate the Tides of Chaos on our skill check, which is incredibly interesting. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I thought it was only going to be for our attack rolls. So let's give ourselves advantage. Why not? And we roll double 8s for a +1 and fail.
You notice nothing more than meets the eye.
Alright, let's leave that well alone. I'm not going to start poking around things I don't understand. Oh, okay. We must short or long rest before use for our Tides of Chaos now. We can't just have that on every single attack. That seems a little more balanced than my initial thought that it would just be on forever and then you could have advantage on all your attacks risking wild magic surges. We can see here that the Tides of Chaos is currently active as a condition for us. 4 gold and a free scroll of mage armor is very nice. And the slave mind here. Now, this now has an icon. Previously this is one thing that was a question mark. It weighs 20 and is only worth 1. And until we reach our weight capacity, I'm going to carry it around just on the off chance that there's some kind of new plot element about it, because there is a lot of new stuff that has been included in this patch for content and quests.
I feel better.
We take that, we get a full restoration. That includes our Tide of Chaos being recharged. So what I'm going to do now is take the opportunity to mage armor myself. Then if we touch this again, we get our spell slot back, but has that removed our mage armor condition? I suppose it has. So our armor class is currently 12, which is 10 plus 2 on dex. We have our sorcerer's robe, simple boots, and a quarterstaff. 1 scroll of Revivify, potions of healing, some food. Nothing else of note.
Don't waste the step.
So we have actually lost our Tides of Chaos that was active. Let's push on, see what else we can find in this room.
Devilkin. Am I in the hells?
I had gotten pretty good at just kind of speed running through here. But I'm going to do my best to take my time a little bit more. Because I haven't done a full party unique playthrough in a fair while. So I want to not so much savor it as just try and figure out what I haven't experienced. And so I don't want to rush through things. So we'll head upstairs. There's more chests that we can pick through. 52 gold seems very generous. There's another one here as well, hiding in the shadows. And then we have this person here.
You've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return! They return.
Who are we talking to?
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
I think you're past the point of saving, buddy.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Alright, probably going to be a dex for us. And I don't think we need advantage here. Classic failure. It's no good, buddy.
Brain won't budge.
It must be destroyed. It can't be risking coming back and attacking me. Sorry, friend. That looked uncomfortable. Got anything on you? No? Just the trousers you're wearing? Alright. That's that room done. Back down the lift. Still with our hit points. Still with our spell slots. Let's head on out and meet the first of our possible companions. And oh boy, did they do a lot with the look of this game. They've done a full overhaul of a lot of the graphics and the rendering and the rest, and it shows. I'm currently playing in 1440p because that's the highest resolution my monitor gets. They removed the jump from here, which is an interesting design decision. And there is Lae'zel.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Oh, my head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive. Imps block the path forward. You will assist me in destroying them. We must reach the helm before we transform.
Alright, let's do that, because I'd rather be any place than here.
Exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
Do her lips and cheeks seem a little bit more twitchy? Right, let's start sneaking. And we have a group of imps ahead.
I want to think about why my eye is itching.
Yeah, don't think about those itchy eyes, dude. Don't do that. Right. Let's just start with our cantrips, shall we? No, let's not, because we can use the restoration pods to give us back all of our spell slots. So we can choose a Thunder Orb, a Poison Orb, 3d8, 2d8, 2d8 Lightning, 2d8 Fire, 2d8 Cold, or 2d8 Acid. I wonder why Thunder is one more than the others. Alright, only slight overkill. The pips on the map have changed. There's an enthralled cultist possibly down here now. They might be on the bridge above us. Right, there we are in initiative now. We have surprised them. We still have Tides of Chaos active. And we saw there, just very briefly, we'll probably see it here as well if we get our bow out, although we should look at what our other options are, because Lae'zel is a fighter, proficient with many weapons. If we check her character sheet, she's currently wielding a long sword and a short bow, and so that gives us the options if we remove the mage hand and the second wind. Hamstring shot, shoot an enemy in the thigh to deal 1d6 plus 1 piercing damage, and possibly reduce their movement speed by 50%. Rush attack. Charge forward and attack the first enemy in your way, dealing 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage, possibly pushing them off balance. Lacerate. Inflicts bleeding. Slash at an enemy, dealing 1d10 plus 3 slashing damage, and possibly inflict bleeding. And Pommel Strike. 3 bludgeoning damage, inflicts dazed. Makes a non-lethal attack against an enemy to deal 3 bludgeoning damage and possibly daze them. So that gives us a whole lot more options with regards to martial strength in combat, especially because each of these can be used once per short rest, and these aren't even maneuvers that a Battlemaster fighter would get. So we have one more enemy all the way back there. Don't know if we're going to be able to get line of sight, but we'll certainly try. Lae'zel not currently in initiative because she hasn't been seen yet. Let's try a hamstring shot. We get advantage on that attack because we were an unseen attacker, and because we crit, it means that we roll our damage dice twice. Now, to pick over the corpses. Have you never played a video game before, Lae'zel? Nothing there. How about at least these dead mind flayers at the back? Incinerated mind flayers. Oh, this is like a far bigger 3D space than it used to be. And you are picking the most awkward location to thieve that from, but that's fine. There's another one here. Take the bulbs. And we find a light crossbow that I believe Akidis will be proficient with. So that gives us the piercing shot, 1d8 plus 2 piercing. Right, nothing else around these parts it seems. Don't think there's anything out on this lip for us to investigate. That's just new aesthetics. But we do, of course, want to use the restoration pod to get our spell slots back before we head on up. Right, we have reached 32 minutes, and so rather than make this an hour-long introduction, we will come back for a part 2 where we will finish off everything that there is on the Nautiloid ship before then continuing on further down the beach. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you're as excited for this as I am. If you have any requests about friends to join to the party or other things, you should be able to catch this video and reply in the comments before I get to the point where I've selected a party for the run. So let me know your opinions down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.